Okay, good morning guys. A real quick one now. Basically you're putting sand coats or gloss coats on. Any lamination you do it without the waxing styrene, obviously because you want it to stick as well as you can. However, you try and sand it, you end up with clogged nonsense of sandpaper. It just clogs up because it's still sticky. So to sand it, you need to add a surfactant, which is known as a sand coat, a hot coat, a gloss coat in later stages. It's basically the same mixture of resin with your catalyst with waxing styrene, which is wax held in styrene so it dissolves into your polyester resin. Epoxy has a similar thing called additive F. It's a surfactant that allows it to dry so it's non-sticky to the touch, so you can sand it. So every laminate you do, you have to, if you're going to sand it, do a sand coat. First thing to do, mask the board up along the middle of the rail line. You want to do this as neatly as possible. The neater this sand coat is, the easier it is to sand it, the less work it is to finish. Little tip here, obviously you tape it down here, and the first thing it wants to do is stick to the underneath the board. So when you put resin on it, it runs around that tape and makes a right old mess. One of the simplest tricks, get some tape, make yourself a little ball of tape like that and stick it under the tape up to the rail so it holds that tape straight down. It doesn't allow it to stick under. Go all the way around doing that so the tape hangs straight. Yeah, it's a simple thing, but it makes your life a hell of a lot easier. Go around it, blow it off if you have a blower. If you haven't, razor blade. You'll always, there's another bit there, last bit I found. You'll always find bits of bobs. Your nan's cardigan, which obviously I'm wearing today. Just check and double check it, because I've been round this and I'm still finding bits on it, which means I have to quickly panic and find myself a razor blade. Just make sure you get those little bits of dirt off, basically, because you know they will be there right under you as you're paddling, staring at you, reminding you that you didn't check it, okay? So that's that. You come around here, catalyst. We have a slightly coloured sand coat here. And you can get away with a faster mix as well because you're literally just painting it on. I've coloured it because I hope to cover some of the blemishes that I've left in it due to doing it in a dirty garage. It's usually used for working on cars. Don't worry, unless you're working in a surfboard factory, which inevitably is a lot cleaner and hermetically sealed, because those guys realise, you know, the issues that you have. Some summers we have issues of like a fly infestation, which, as you can imagine, in a room of 6 hot coats going off, can create all sorts of shenanigans. As always, get it on the board. You can get all of it on the board this time. You don't need to save the pot, so you can do your laps. And then with a good and a clean is the answer here. Super clean 3 or 4 inch brush. Pretend you're laminating. Initially, you're just getting it all over the board. Obviously now, I'm trying to even it out, especially as this one's got colour in it. I don't want too many streaks. Although obviously I've realised I'm going to have to go for that slightly non-perfection look. So we're hoping we've got it on most of the board. I'm working this in a bit more because I don't want too much colour on that deck. I don't want streaks. So I'm pulling a bit of it off, as you can see. This is quite gloopy, this resin. My advice to you is to buy Silmar or Taupo gloss resin. Nice, non-sticky, because this is gloopy. And this is like hot coating with golden syrup. We've got it on the board, we've got a while. Go backwards and forwards, do this. This is just trying to flatten out that resin, because there's going to be areas where it kind of puddles up a bit. Clean your brush off in your pot. That's the one reason hanging onto your pot. It self-levels, this resin as well, polyester resin, especially if it's warm. The aim is to get this as flat as you possibly can. The flatter it is, the easier it is for you to sand it, etc, etc. You just get a much better result. Walk down these rails now, catching any drips. Just trying to get it as smooth as you possibly can. Okay, and obviously the final bit, get all that resin out your brush. Literally, the weight of the brush itself, don't push. Walk it up and down the board. Literally just the weight of the brush itself. The idea, whether you're doing coloured tints, whether you're doing a plain white board, whatever, is to get this stage as flat as you possibly can. Ideally you don't want drips because you have to sand drips out. Okay guys, pretty much it. Check those rails, get it smooth as you can. Honestly, you know, I can't emphasise that. The smoother you get this, the more satisfying it is to start, and a hell of a lot easier for you to sand it. And this is pretty much exactly the same as how you do a gloss coat. That's kind of it. You're done. Crank the heat up, walk away. Hopefully, not too many insects will land on it, and then you have it. Cheers, guys.